Okay, in this video we're going to be reviewing this heated blanket, and let's go ahead and open the box and see what we have inside. Okay, so here is your power cord with the control on it, and then there's the plug-in that goes into the blanket. And there are some instructions in here. It looks like pretty decent instructions. They give you instructions on how to wash. You can wash it, according to this, you can wash it by hand or in an automatic washer if you put it on slow agitation and then normal spin. As far as a dryer, you can put it in a dryer. It says on high heat for about 5 minutes, or you can line dry it. So I would just be careful if you're using it in a washing it in a washer or drying it in the dryer. You just need to be careful with it. Now, this thing is comes vacuum packed. It's pretty. Tell you what, that thing is pretty solid feeling. So let's go ahead and we'll open the package up. And if you're using any kind of a knife, like I'm using this little razor knife, be real careful when opening this package. I would pick somewhere close to where you're not going to cut the blanket, obviously. As you can see, once I kind of pierce that plastic, it softens up quite a bit. So go ahead and we'll pull this thing out. And tell you immediately, I can tell this thing is really pretty soft. It's it has a kind of a velour feel. And let's go ahead and we'll fold it out here a little bit and kind of look at it. It's not real thick. It's a little bit on the thinner side, but I wouldn't say it's a problem with it being too thin. Preferably, or my preference, I prefer a lighter sort of a blanket. I don't want something real heavy and constricting. And this is going to be good for like a heated sort of a throw, not a full-size blanket. This is your plug-in for your control here, and it looks to me like, yeah, it only goes one way. You notice these little notches right here. There's some notches right there that go right in here. You can see right in there, those notches. It fits like that. So there's only one way to plug it in. And when you plug it in, it has these little tabs on the side here that hold it into place so you can't pull it out. And then to be able to unplug it, you just do this. You press those tabs down and pull it out. So that's a pretty good positive plug-in kind of a deal. We'll get this thing plugged in just a minute. Now, what I was going to say just real quick, you can feel the wires in there. And like I said, the outside is real kind of a soft, smooth texture, and then the inside is kind of I don't know what you'd call that, sort of not wool, but has that kind of a thicker, rougher kind of a texture to it. But it's not a problem, not at all. The color looks pretty good. It's a gray, and then the inside, of course, is white. And we'll look at the size in just a minute. I just kind of wanted to feel these wires in there and kind of feel, looks to me like the wires start, you've got about that much distance between the edge to the heating wires start, and then the heating wires are run all through here, several layers of them. Okay, and so to kind of give you an idea of how big the blanket is, that's spread out. It's, I'd say it's a good 4.5 feet. but it's plenty large enough to cover you up. This is not a blanket made for like in a bed. It's not to cover a whole bed. This is something that you would use when you're like sitting on the couch or in your recliner, a lounge chair, something like that. Something that you could use to cover up and keep kind of warm and cozy, snugly when it's cold. So now, as far as your settings are concerned, it looks like it has a warm, a low, medium, and high. So it's got 4 settings, and you just press this button to turn it on. So we'll plug it in and check it out. Okay, so I have the blanket plugged in, and when you press the button the first time, it goes to warm, which is green. Press it again, it goes to low, which is yellow. Press it again, it goes to medium, which is kind of an orange. And then the last time you press it, it goes to high, which is red. And we're going to leave it on high for right now, just to kind of check out, see how warm it gets and how quickly it warms up to determine the heating function. Okay, so it took the blanket about 5 minutes to warm up, and it's really warm. I can tell you straight up, I've got it on high, but it's plenty warm enough in there. The heating wire, like I said, it starts here, so you have about roughly 10 inches of area here that's not doesn't have a wire in it, but it's still fairly warm right there. It's warmer right in here in the middle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 heating wires through there. And like I said, you have the first wire on the edges here and the other wires here, if you can see that. So it's probably about 3 feet of heating area on the blanket. But overall, the blanket, like I said, it's plenty warm. And on the high setting, it's plenty warm. After a certain period, if you leave it on, it will turn off automatically. Let's see if I can read that in here somewhere, because that's a very important feature, that it will turn itself off. And yeah, it says here after the controller starts working, the default time is 3 hours. So, basically if you turn it on and leave it on, in 3 hours time, it'll turn off. That's probably not quite as long as I would prefer. Reason being, like if you were to have this thing on at night, I would prefer it to stay on probably 5 hours or so. But there again, it's not a huge deal. Overall, it's a pretty nice blanket. It's about, they said the product dimensions here are 50 by 60 inches. So basically 5 by 4 feet in size. So, real good size for like a heated type throw, blanket that you could lay on top of on your bed or something like that.
So the blanket's very soft and the remote works great, but please read the instruction manual. This is the most important one right here. Please first ensure the controller is off, the LED is off, and the power source is not plugged into the socket. So if you plug in the power source first and then try to plug in the controller, it won't work. I thought mine was broken, but it wasn't. Just unplug the power source first. But otherwise it works great. It heats up really fast and it's nice and cozy.
But I went ahead with it. Yeah, it was definitely like a high, like a feeling of, I don't know exactly how I felt. I just know I felt good to leave that, and that she would be waking up the next morning trying to figure out who did what to her.